Hey guys, we have a extremely special exclusive. We got a special preview with Big Ant Studios today about Don Bradman's Cricket 2014, and can I say it looks amazing. We were in the offices doing a exclusive with one of the people on the dev team, Mark. It was an absolute legend for having us in. Um, but yeah, we just we fiddled around with the game a bit and had a sneaky peek at it, I guess you could say.
Had a good look at the gameplay and what we were going to look at, the main kind of preferences of the game and what it was going to be like, and how much different it was from the games that they had previously made. It was very, very interesting to have quite an insight into how they were developing it and what was actually really different about it. So I guess, as you're going to see here, we've started off with the whole batting ordeal of it and how he was going. I wouldn't mind with some of the points where he actually missed the ball and all of that. He was more talking to us than he was trying to play the game there.
Well, yeah, the first shot, as you would have seen, was he completely missed it, and he went for the tonk, and then he's gone out straight away. So, but yeah, as you'll see with some of the shots, we haven't included all of them because we didn't want the footage to be too long. But there's a lot of shot diversity in the different shots that you can play as the batsman. Sadly all the players in the game all the names are fake because they couldn't get the licensing and that. But I mean, hey, Don Bradman's one of the only officially licensed names in it. So hey, bargain.
Well, we've got a top tip through it anyway, that there is a bit of a loophole with that, and that some created teams from players who are obviously playing this game and created their own teams can actually use the names of official players and cater them to whatever skills they actually have. So if you are interested in getting a team together with the proper names and the proper deal, you can just download one of those teams from the website that they're going to provide as you play the game. So, don't get too heavy-hearted about it. If you're really interested as playing as the Australian team or whatever else, you can get all the players with the same names.
When you open the game for the first time, if you're connected to the internet, it'll say, do you want to import the top teams? And the top-rated teams from across the Don Bradman Cricket Academy on the PC that's been out since about April, I think he said. You can just import the best of the best, and all those teams will just be dropped into your menu, fully ready to use and everything.
So it's
fantastic,
fully integrated, fully ready to go for any user to use. I guess with the other bit of batting, have we reached up to that point yet? We're just getting there now. All right, we're into the pro mode now, which is it's kind of a first-person view, and as I stated before, it's going to really mess with your head if you played Skyrim beforehand and kind of try and play this game. Really, really interesting way of doing it. We were absolutely baffled and obviously delighted to see such a different feature take an effect. I mean, it's fully controllable. You can look around as you please.
You can even walk across the wicket.
Yeah, you can. You can walk as well and completely view the field, which is really, really good. And it just gave you a totally different perspective of the game. I mean, the graphics itself were improved, and everything looks really sharp, really clean. I think what's coming up here is we can see a bit of how pitching goes, I guess, and the levels of which you can pitch on that field. So I guess it's a really diverse game with what you can do, and we were really on the edge of our seats, really, and I'm not even a cricket fan, so it kind of really got us in there. This is really interesting, guys, because we've obviously touched on the batting part of it, and now we're up to the bowling and the kind of fielding part of it. Now the controls on this are really, really different from probably what you're used to. You're using the analog sticks a lot to kind of control, especially with the batting as well. To kind of pitch the ball down the field. Now, I said before that there was the three kind of levels of the pitch, and where you've got the high ground and the middle ground kind of thing. It's it's very, very touch control-y, and you've got to release at the right time, and the ball can pretty much go anywhere, so you've got to really, be on top of it. If you guys had ever watched our Olympics video, you'd notice that a lot of those controls were kind of similar in that sort of fashion, where we were using the analog sticks and using them in a certain amount of control. So that's kind of what the control scheme is of that.
Well, even the way they've set up the fielding, you've got your 3 levels of fielding, which you can set the game up to.
Settings, I guess you could put it to.
You've got your manual, your semi-assisted, and your fully assisted, which pretty much just means if you want manual, you get to control each and every player you've got out in the field, getting them to run towards the ball and whatnot. Your semi-assisted means that they will generally go for it, but you've still got to control whether, what way they run or if they're going to catch or whatnot.
And not necessarily what way they run. It's just like if they're going to catch the ball, then you've got to press the button at the right time, and then when it throws, you've got to select whether you want to go to the bowler or the wicket keeper.
And then you also have your fully assisted, which just means you can pretty much sit back and relax and watch the game.
Allow the AI to do it, but I mean, this is all experience based and all, So honestly, if you've got a very, very unexperienced team and you allow the AI to do everything, it's going to drop the ball a couple of times. You got to learn to expect that. So it's probably better to probably use manual earlier. Now the replay function is really, really cool in this. You guys are going to enjoy this. We touched on this while we were talking, and we actually did this quite a bit, having a lot of fun with it. You can twist the angles, you can, form it in your own fashion, turn the camera the way you want it, slow and speed up the camera, even reverse it, go back the way you came. It is really, really, really cool how you can do all of this sort of stuff. They added a lot more to it to give you more full control over, the ball and where it's going, and if you maybe you got the wrong call or perhaps something like that, you can actually have a look back at it and make a decision based on that. So, they've added quite a bit more features into it. So what did you reckon of it?
Well, I mean, yeah, the replay camera for it is, as you said, that the challenges, because, you can challenge the umpire's decision in this, and the fact that you can go, hang on, I don't think that was quite right, pause the game, go into it, have a look, and then work out whether you actually want to challenge or not, so that, you don't get still caught out and get disappointed, and you can, kind of see how much of an edge you had on the ball before you got caught behind, and that type of thing. But even then, if you're, making a movie like we probably end up doing on the YouTube, you can have, if you've done something hilarious, you can stop and record, and then, as Jamie said, rewind, play forward, rewind, and then just do random little shit with it. And it's made it a whole new ball game when it comes to replay features.
We've got a simulation mode which you can do in the middle of the game. Basically, it's just something that you can simulate like in AFL Live, where you can go ball by ball, next wicket, end of the session, or end of the innings. It's just kind of a quick feature in for you. It makes it a little more efficient if you're not looking forward to, playing for the rest of the game kind of thing. You can just chop and change where you go from that, and it's a little more, efficient for you guys.
With the main menu, I mean, it's pretty straightforward as most games, but I mean, you've got the multiplayer, which is only a 1v1, sadly, one person on either team. We got, tournaments. So you've got the leagues, knockouts, international tours, and the Tri-Nations. You can build whatever the hell you want. You've got a career mode where you start as a 16-year-old and you start in the domestic league of either Australia or England or somewhere else. We're not sure how many different leagues there are, but, eventually as you play, you can get asked to play for another country in a, 2020 league and eventually reach international level being your goal. And that you just play as your player. So if your player goes out, that's it. You simulate the rest of it. And then you've also got, customizable matches where if you want to have a 10-ball over, 4-day matches, or even 2 days with an inning each per side, you can do everything. There's, 10,000 combinations, they were saying, that you can do with all this stuff.
This is probably one of my most favorite bits in this. It's just all the customization you can do on your characters. Now, we were talking about all the customization you can do with the matches itself and all of that. This comes into more depth. Now, you can't create a female character.
Again.
Bam, bam.
This happens. But you can make a male character that looks like a female. All right, we actually got confirmation on that, so don't.
Well, not that it'd be difficult in really any other game. But
True.
It's still a thing.
If you want to have a female that has a mullet and a beard, whatever, that's your preference. Anyway, look, it's pretty in depth here. It gets really, really good. You can do everything from the hairstyle to the facial structure. It gets really, really into it, and it's almost, well, I'd say it's a lot better than the AFL Live did it.
As he said himself, Mark said himself, he said it's AFL Live customization with the bells and whistles. So
everything that you guys wanted in the in the previous games, this has now got it, and to me that's excellent. We always look for little extra bits and pieces. You want to see your character out in that field. You want to see him, in all his features and glory. I want my white afro. It's just that sort of stuff.
Well, like Mark even said, if we really wanted to, we could have a player on our team, each player different colours. We could have a rainbow team.
Yeah, the gear, it's fully changeable. You say you want to play for India, their natural thing is a light blue, but hey, you can be hot pink if you want because that's just what you're feeling on the day. You don't have to stick to the generic team's colours. You can do whatever you want and they'll still go out in the field and wear whatever you selected.
And even, like Mark had said to us, all the gear that is available to choose for your customization actually had a role within history of the actual game, cricket in real life. So it's really interesting the way they've combined everything all together to make such an awesome availability for us to choose.
Yes,
really?
That's right. I mean, they've got a huge collection there, and as Steph said, it is all stuff from the cricket careers. It's not fabricated at all. You might find some pretty ridiculous stuff. We had a good giggle at a few of the things, and it was really good. Honestly, it goes into quite a depth here. We've got, the mentality. So when your character is being played with the AI, it'll have a different playing style. You can make it aggressive, or you can make it a more, focused on a different area rather than your general playing style. So you can kind of tinker that with your own goods. You've got your stats, which is, it gets pretty intense.
Well,
there.
yeah, the stats. I mean, you can input. Say you play county cricket and you've played 30 tests and a couple of one days. You can input those stats into the game, and then, from there, that will already be there. And then you check back to your profile later, and it comes up with those plus whatever you've played with that character in the game, which is absolutely fantastic.
So now, if you want to create a character that actually exists in the world, say, I guess your reference, Boner, was Ricky Ponting, you can literally get his stats off the internet, write them down onto this customization, and actually input him into the game. And you'll have him. There you go, fresh, ready to go and play this game. Now, also in this is the skills, which I'm pretty sure you've put there, is the infinite points. You can put absolutely anything you like into this. All right, so the skills are just a kind of run around thing of what your character can kind of do, but it's an infinite amount. So you can set him at halfway here or max him out completely. It's up to you. It's up to your preference. If you want a bit more of a challenge, drop him down a little bit. If you don't, then just top him up. Whatever.
But alongside that, we've got the attributes, and completely different. I love the fact that there's two different categories for that, but the attributes, there are a set amount of points to distribute. So, they didn't want to limit you too much to saying, this is the only amount of skills you can have, but then the attributes are limited so that you can't have an absolute lol-pone rape kind of character.
Now, guys, this is an XP system, so, your characters will gain XP about how well you're doing. Wins, match bonuses, 3 sixes, hat tricks, that type of thing will add to that. And it gets added to an overall leaderboard that, the whole world can kind of see. So, don't stuff up.
Alright guys, so here's a preview of the achievements/trophies for either the Xbox or the PlayStation, whichever platform you prefer. No release date has been confirmed for this game as of yet, but it will be available on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC. Another really exciting thing about this is that there is cross-sharing when creating your teams. You could create a team on the Xbox and it would be able to be downloaded on PlayStation, whatever, which is really exciting and I guess kind of new for the Xbox and PlayStation community. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
I mean, it brings a whole new level. I mean, you hear about among the community a lot now is talking about cross sharing, and this is definitely a game that's going to provide that because it's not limiting Xbox users to the Xbox user content. It's out of all 5 consoles and systems that are having this game brought to them, all 5 are able to get all of that content at once, and that is really something that is going to take the world by storm.
It's really excellent. You heard it here first.